Welcome to this EstimatorXpress Getting Started video. In this section we'll be adding several quotations to the estimate using the Subcontract Quotations workbook. Click on the Subcontract Quotations workbook and then click Open Workbook. The workbook currently contains one worksheet. The location is set to House. Change it to Extension by clicking on the drop-down box, scrolling down and selecting Extension from the options. Set the number of items to 1. Then click Subcontract Quotations on the left to open up the worksheet. The worksheet opens on the Sundry Resources tab. Note that there's no Dimensions tab here because this type of workbook doesn't contain any dimensions. It's a collection of sundry items to which you can add a quote or budget figure. In the Subcontract Quotations workbook we have a list of different contractors. All you need to do is enter the quote or budget figure alongside the appropriate contractor. You may, for example, have quotes from plumbers, electricians, or any other specialist contractor or fitter. In this case, I'm going to use the electrical first fix quotation. The electrical contractor rate is set at £1, so if I enter 1500 into the quantity per item column, the cost of the electrical first fix quotation will be £1,500. Now I'm going to add an electrical second fix quotation, and I'm going to type 400 into the quantity per item column. Use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move down the screen. Let's say I want to add a plumbing first fix quotation of £1,300 and a plumbing second fix quotation of £900. I've now added the electrical and plumbing costs to the estimate. There may be other items which you want to add to your estimate using the Subcontract Quotations workbook. For example, you might want to add a scaffolding quotation if you've been given a quote by a scaffolding firm. You might also want to add a kitchen fitting quotation, including the kitchen itself if it's being supplied and fitted. If you can't find an appropriate quotation type, then you can use the specialist quotation. You can also add quotations to the list and enter your own item used for. Say for example you wanted to add a specialist floor quotation and a cleaning quotation. Click Add Multiple Resources on the top menu. In the price book, select Subcontract from the Resource Type drop-down box. Scroll down and click on the Specialist Contractor. We'll use this for the Specialist Floor quotation. Click the Add Resource to Selection button. Let's use the General Quotations option for the cleaner. Click the Add Resource to Selection button once again. Then click Select Resources. The Edit Resource dialog box prompts you for some information for the Specialist Contractor first. Type in the item used for. In this case it's to supply and fit a hardwood floor. Set the usage units to unit. This will match the other subcontract quotations. Select an appropriate build phase, in this case internal fitting out, then enter the cost into the quantity box, in this case £2,300. Once you've entered all the necessary information, click OK. The Edit Resource dialog box then prompts you to complete some fields for the general quotation. Change the item used for, let's type something like cleaning. Check the usage units correct, then also check the build phase. I'm going to change this to cleaning, which has its own build phase. Finally enter the cost into the quantity box. This time it's £300. Once you've done that, click OK. So these costs are now included in the estimate. If you want to change the item used for description for any quotations you've added, you can click into the box and type the changes. Once you've finished adding your subcontract quotations, return to the job summary by clicking the Close Workbook button. Confirm whether the workbook is complete. You can always revisit the quotations at a later date. So that's the subcontract quotations dealt with. Thank you for watching this EstimatorXpress video on estimating subcontract quotations.